Good morning. All right. My name is Mike Sawyer. I'm the city transportation engineer, and this is an exciting day for us. And I'd like to welcome you to this special event where it's really just a kickoff of a lot of work that's been going on behind the scenes. And we're just so glad to see everyone here. And I'd like to introduce the 88th mayor of the 80th.
That would mean
36, right?
30 some more years.
80th mayor of the city of Richmond, the Honorable Mayor LeVar M. Stoney.
Thank you, Mike. Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Bear with me, it's a little loud over here. A lot of cars passing over by, but I want to welcome everyone this morning. We are excited to be here to announce some important steps forward in our efforts to make our city safer for pedestrians and cyclists and those who drive cars on our streets. Before we begin, I want to thank a few people. I want to begin by thanking the Department of Public Works for putting this program together. I want to recognize representatives from the State Police, the Capitol Police, the VCU Police, Richmond Ambulance Authority, Richmond Public Schools, Richmond Fire Department, the Richmond Health Department, Richmond Planning and Development and Review, and the city's engineer's office. I also want to extend a special welcome and thanks to the members of the Richmond City Council. I know I have Councilman Andreas Addison's with us today, the Richmond Police Department, I know Chief English is with us, and sports backers, John Lugville's with us today. And I want to acknowledge our very important nonprofit partners, a number of which are here with us today: Drive Smart Virginia, Bike Walk RVA, AAA Mid-Atlantic, and Safe Kids Virginia. Everyone who uses our streets needs to be smart and safe. Everyone. It doesn't matter whether you walk, bike, ride, use transit, or drive. We are a city that is too well known for being equally bad drivers, bad cyclists, and sometimes bad pedestrians. But we can change that reputation today. We are changing a lot of things here in Richmond, and we can change this too. That's why today we are all here to reaffirm our long-term commitment to eliminating traffic fatalities in our city. That's the vision behind Vision Zero. It's not Vision 100, it's not Vision 50, or even Vision 10. It's zero, because even one death in our city is unacceptable. 0 deaths should be our goal. Here's why it's so important. Here's why it's so important, everyone. Between 2014 and 2016, we've been averaging 2,600 injuries and 13 deaths as a result of crashes including vehicles, pedestrian, bike, and mass transit. So far in 2017, we've experienced 19 traffic fatalities, including 10 crashes that killed pedestrians and one that took the life of a cyclist. In the last 30 days alone, we've had 2 pedestrians injured or killed. One of them were fatal at the intersection of Forest Hill and Sheila Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, we're an active city, and that's a good thing. I love seeing people out and about on the Capitol Trail, biking to work, walking through our neighborhoods, but all of our hearts should break whenever we hear of a death on our streets and our roads. The simple act of walking to the grocery store or biking to work should not be a near-death experience. We can and we will do much better. Especially now that we are just a few days from Halloween, a time when many of our young people will be out and about, some of them at night to go trick-or-treating. We all have a responsibility to make this holiday and every day in between safe for our residents. This Halloween, let's limit the scariness to the costumes. Today, I'm announcing several actions that I hope will move us further down the road to safer streets. Number 1, I am pleased to report that in the next year, the city will install high visibility crosswalks at 100% of our traffic signal intersections on major federal, state roads like Broad Street and Broad Rock Boulevard. To date, we have completed 62 such intersections. And in the next 12 months, we will improve 238 more intersections throughout the city of Richmond. Number two, back in 1966, the City Council established the Highway Safety Commission to advise it on transportation safety. Then on March 2016, Council passed a resolution calling for Richmond to become a Vision Zero city. That is, a city that envisions 0 deaths or serious injuries from traffic crashes on the streets by the year 2030. And finally, in April of this year, Council renamed the Highway Safety Commission as the Safe and Healthy Streets Commission with a goal of implementing the Vision Zero program. Today, I am formally endorsing the Council resolution and charging the Commission to come up with a Vision Zero action plan by the end of February 2018. I'm asking the Commission to form a Vision Zero subcommittee that will engage all of our stakeholders from city, state, federal, and nonprofit sectors to focus on executive and enforcement actions we can take, legislative and budget recommendations to fund traffic safety improvements, and public initiatives to promote awareness at our workplaces and in our neighborhoods. Number three, finally, I'm going to ask all of you to sign the Vision Zero pledge we have here today. We need to remember the rules of the road no matter how you are traveling. So I'm issuing all of us a safe and healthy streets challenge. For drivers, we need to stay sober and alert and always wear seat belts, but put down our phones, keep our hands on the wheel and drive. Obey the speed limits and respect the bikers and runners who share the road. In Richmond, nearly 600 injuries a year are the result of distracted drivers, and nearly half of our deaths result from not using a seatbelt. For our bicyclists, we need to use lights at night, especially now that the days will be getting shorter, and obey traffic laws. For our pedestrians, should you use marked crossings and obey signs, and runners on the street should use bright clothing on reflective tape. And can we do that? Yes, we can. It takes a team to implement Vision Zero and to make the goal a reality. The team is here with us today, but the team will be out in our neighborhoods as well. Let's continue to push and drive the vision of Vision Zero and make it a reality. Let's go out and make it happen. Thank you, guys. And it is now my pleasure to bring up my friend, the councilman from the 1st District, Mr. Andreas Addison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, good morning. It feels like fall, finally. I love this. It's an honor to be here this morning. Vision Zero has been a priority of mine since I took office. And one of the things is I'm not on the Highway Safety Commission, but I go to it as much as I can because it's such an important priority to see what's going on in the community and to make sure we're working together. So, as Richmond grows as a city in population, economically, and as a destination, we must also as a city grow with it. This growth continues to advance us into the 21st century. But as a city founded in the 18th century that grew and flourished through the 19th and 20th centuries, we must physically grow and adapt with this change. We went from traversing our city by horse and carriage and streetcar to now having buses, bikes, cars, even strollers and bike share people walking through our streets as well. We even have great infrastructure with bike lanes and the Tyler Potterfield Bridge. This is a great time to be in Richmond as we become a leading 21st century city. But we are at a crossroads, literally. These old streets are our homes to our cars, buses, pedestrians, cyclists, joggers, and the like. This intersection creates a conflict between the physical and how we as people interact with it. Vision Zero focuses exactly on this intersection to advance safety initiatives to protect us all, to have zero pedestrian and bicycle fatalities. Now, we as a city, and by a city I mean also City Hall, we can drive policy, we can fix sidewalks, we can pave streets, we can build bike lanes, we can put in traffic calming measures, We can put up traffic lights to direct and manage the flow of cars and people. But Vision Zero is accomplished by us. We must know the rules of the road. We must drive our cars safely, walk across the street safely, ride our bikes, and train for our next marathon or 10K safely as well. When we drive our car, we must understand the rights for both the cyclist and the pedestrian. From looking for pedestrians and cyclists at red lights, to not parking too close to the intersection, creating an unsafe environment for all of us to cross safely. As a cyclist, we must know how to drive safely, obeying traffic signs and signals, and how to interact with the cars we share that same road with. And as pedestrians, we must know how, when, and where to cross streets safely. To do this takes engagement, education, and active communication about all modes of how we travel in our city. It is up to us to be a Vision Zero city, obeying and following the rules of the road as pedestrians, runners, bicyclists, car drivers, and even for our buses. I am joining the mayor in signing this Vision Zero pledge as a commitment to make these efforts a priority for us all. In the next few weeks, you will see a new Vision Zero dashboard built on the open data portal that will show the location of instances with car accidents, with bikes, and pedestrians from all across our city. And we'll do this as a historic look as well. We want to identify the areas in which we are not Vision Zero, to find ways in which we can improve that for all of us to be safe in our city. Transparency and public safety are priorities for me, City Council, and the Mayor, and this dashboard will make public the information that can advance our shared goal to be a Vision Zero. A special thank you to Chief Durham and his staff in partnering with me to help build this new dashboard. Together, let's make Richmond a Vision Zero city. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I'm Deputy Chief English, and I'm here on behalf of our Chief Alfred Durham, and it's a pleasure to be able to stand before you to gain more partners, and that's what we're here for. Vision Zero indicates that it is a multidisciplinary global strategy to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all. So, Mayor Stoney just stood before you and gave you many statistics related to traffic accidents in our city. There are way too many. So with just those numbers, we have to understand and realize that there are some measures that we need to put in place in order to eliminate accidents. Vision Zero has 9 components of a strong vision. The first one of those components is political commitment. So as you can see, standing behind me, our leader of our city, Mayor Stoney, is definitely committed to Vision Zero. The second one is multidisciplinary leadership. So when you talk about all the partners that we have here, and Mayor Stoney listed the names of those that he recognized, you have to understand that we are committed to this from all agencies. Action plan. Mayor Stoney also alluded to this. When you talk about things that we're putting in place, the task force that has been assembled. Number 4 is equity. We will ensure our approach covers inclusive and representative processes. Cooperation and collaboration. Well, with all the entities that are involved in Vision Zero, you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of collaboration and cooperation amongst our partners. A systems-based approach. Our methodology will be based on looking at our environment, systems, and policies to determine how we can improve. Number 7, data-driven. Well, the data indicates this. This will allow us to be able to look at statistics and will allow us to prioritize our resources where we need to be. Number 8 is community engagement. Input and feedback is also going to be needed from our citizens. Transparency. Our councilperson just alluded to transparency. It is incumbent upon us to update our citizens on the progress that we are making. These 9 items are right up our alley. That's what we do in the city of Richmond. We recognize the need to work in partnership in order to improve the safety of our roads. So we welcome the initiative, and we thank Mayor Stoney, his team, and all of our partners for allowing us to be a part of this commitment. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm John Lugbill, Executive Director of the Sports Backers. With Sports Backers, we inspire people in all corners of our community to live actively. Our Bike Walk RVA program advocates for safe and connected infrastructure for people-powered transportation. Thank you, Mayor Stoney, for your leadership on moving Richmond one step closer toward a future of zero traffic-related deaths and serious injuries. I would also like to thank City Council for their resolution to support Vision Zero and efforts here in Richmond. Today, members of the Sports Backers, AAA, Drive Smart Virginia, and Safe Kids Virginia are standing up to promote a culture of safe and healthy streets where people make eye contact, slow down while driving, and yield to others. One thing we know for sure, the status quo is not working. Here in the city of Richmond, we've already had 10 pedestrian deaths this year and 119 pedestrian injuries. Just last week, Franklin Cram, a 79-year-old resident of Forest Hill, was killed walking near his home on Forest Hill Avenue. It was a hit-and-run accident. We can do better. I know we can do better. Everyone thinks it's the other guy's fault when it comes to crashes on our streets. But the reality is we all could do better. We all have those moments where we know we should have been more focused. We can be better drivers, walkers, bikers, runners, and I know we can do this. Just as there could be more enforcement of traffic laws and better designed roads, I've talked with many police, public works officials, engineers. They all hate crashes on the streets. If you talk to any first responder, one of the worst parts of their job is going to a crash scene. Let's give these hardworking people the tools and support to change the way our streets work, to put safety of people first. Richmond is a world-class city in many ways. Let's add street safety to those accolades. We are excited to work together with Mayor Stoney and City Council to make traffic fatalities a thing of the past. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna step over here and I'm gonna sign the pledge.